Hello, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive into the fascinating world of rare coins that could be hiding in your collection or even in your pocket. Today, we've got a special treat for you, one of the most exciting and valuable coins in U.S. history, the 1973 United States quarter dollar. And now, most people wouldn't think much of a quarter that's nearly 50 years old. After all, it's just a piece of currency that's probably been passed through countless hands over the decades. But wait until you hear the story behind this seemingly ordinary coin. This 1973 quarter has something special that could make it worth a lot more than you'd expect. And trust me, when you find out how much it could be worth, you'll want to start checking your coin jar immediately. The 1973 quarter was minted during a time when the US was going through some significant changes. The country had recently left the gold standard, and the economy was in transition. These quarters were produced in large numbers, so most of them were circulated widely. Over time, as we've seen with many coins from this era, most of them have been worn down, damaged, or spent into oblivion. But here's where things get interesting. Even though many 1973 quarters aren't in great condition, a few of them stand out as rare, highly sought-after collector's items. So, what makes this coin so special? The first thing you should know is that, like any valuable coin, the condition matters. Coins that are uncirculated or in near-perfect condition are far more valuable than those that have been used heavily. Over the years, some of these 1973 quarters were released into circulation with some unusual minting errors that have led to their skyrocketing value. These mistakes are incredibly rare, and it's these small imperfections that can make a coin worth a fortune. One of the most famous types of error found on the 1973 quarter is called the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck more than once by the die during the minting process, which causes the image to appear doubled. It's subtle at first glance, but for eagle-eyed collectors, it's a telltale sign of rarity. A quarter with a double die error is not only a treasure to own, but it's also a valuable piece of history. Another key error that has made some 1973 quarters incredibly valuable is the misaligned die error. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned with the die during the striking process, which results in a coin that looks off-center or distorted. These errors, though not common, are highly prized by collectors, as they are unique and hard to find. The more off-center the design, the higher the potential value, but it's not just the errors that make the 1973 quarter stand out. Its rarity also plays a huge part in its value. Even though millions of these quarters were minted, finding one in perfect condition is no easy feat. Over the years, many have been used, damaged, or lost. The number of well-preserved specimens is limited, and those in near mint or uncirculated condition are especially valuable for coin collectors. Owning a 1973 quarter in exceptional condition or with one of these rare minting errors is like finding a hidden gem. And this is where it gets even more exciting. If you happen to have one of these rare pieces, you could be holding on to something worth a small fortune now. You might be wondering, just how much can a 1973 quarter be worth? Well, if you've got an uncirculated quarter, or better yet, one with a rare minting error like the double die or misaligned die, you could be looking at a price tag that will blow your mind. Are you ready for this? A 1973 quarter in pristine, error-free condition can fetch an impressive value. But hold on, a truly rare, error-filled 1973 quarter, something with significant misalignment or doubling, could be worth up to $76,000. That's right, $76,000 for a single 1973 quarter. Imagine that a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents could turn into an incredible windfall for the lucky collector who stumbles upon one in perfect condition or with a rare error. It's no wonder that coin enthusiasts everywhere are on the lookout for these hidden treasures. So, how can you tell if your 1973 quarter is worth that much? Start by checking the condition of the coin. If it looks like it's been in pristine condition for all these years, you may have a gem on your hands. Then, closely inspect the design. Look for any signs of errors like double dies or misaligned strikes. And of course, always have your rare finds properly evaluated by a professional grader who can help you understand exactly how much they're worth in today's market. If you love coins or are just starting your journey into the world of numismatics, the 1973 quarter is definitely a coin worth keeping an eye out for. Its rarity, its potential for errors, and its fascinating history make it an exciting piece for any collection. So, the next time you come across a 1973 quarter, remember, it might just be your ticket to a big payday. Top 2 today, we're diving into a coin that you may have never thought twice about, the 1979 United States quarter dollar. You might have one in your pocket right now, but believe me, you'll want to listen closely because this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth an incredible fortune. At first glance, the 1979 quarter might appear to be just another typical piece of U.S. currency, circulating among millions of others. After all, it's just a quarter, right? But here's the twist, there's something about this particular coin that could make it incredibly valuable. That's right, what you might dismiss as a regular quarter could be hiding a treasure worth thousands of dollars. Let's start by talking about the minting history of the 1979 quarter. The coin was issued during a time when the U.S. was coming out of the turbulent 1970s, a decade marked by inflation, economic struggles, and social change. As a result, the U.S. Mint was focused on producing coins that would carry the country's economic stability forward into the next decade. The 1979 quarter was part of that effort, but with the vast quantity that was produced, the coin quickly became common and circulated widely. But here's where the story gets interesting. Over time, some of these coins began to reveal rare and significant errors in their minting process that make them highly valuable to collectors. Coin collectors are always looking for unique pieces, coins that stand out from the rest, and the 1979 quarter is one of those coins that has captured the attention of the numismatic community because of its specific imperfections. One of the most sought-after features of the 1979 quarter is what's known as a double die error. This is a minting flaw that happens when the coin is struck multiple times by the die, causing the image to appear slightly doubled. The most common area for this error is in the numbers on the coin, especially the date. If you look closely at a 1979 quarter and notice any faint duplication of the digits and the date, you may have stumbled upon a rare double die specimen. Collectors are particularly fond of these coins because they're unique and can't be found in every batch, making them a truly one-of-a-kind treasure. Another error that can increase the value of a 1979 quarter is a misaligned die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin isn't properly aligned, causing the coin's design to appear off-center or lopsided. This error is even more dramatic in some cases, where the image or lettering is almost completely misaligned. For coin collectors, a misaligned die error isn't just a mistake, it's a piece of history. It's the kind of error that makes a coin stand out, and that uniqueness is exactly what collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And let's not forget about the overall condition of the coin. A 1979 quarter that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more valuable than one that's been spent or heavily worn. The value of a coin increases dramatically if it's well preserved, as it shows the level of care and attention given to its storage. A coin that has maintained its sharp details and original luster is highly coveted by collectors, and that's where the real value starts to show. So, how much can a 1979 quarter really be worth? If you happen to have a 1979 quarter with one of these minting errors, especially in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to a small fortune. While most 1979 quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, those with significant errors or in exceptional condition can fetch a price far beyond that. The real kicker here is this: a 1979 quarter, in flawless condition or with a rare minting error like a double die or misaligned die, could be worth as much as $73,000. That's right, $73,000 for a single coin. This is why collectors around the world are on the lookout for 1979 quarters with these specific errors. They know that a seemingly common coin could turn into a goldmine. If you have one of these quarters, you could be sitting on a rare, valuable piece of U.S. history. But don't just take our word for it. If you think you've got a rare 1979 quarter, it's always a good idea to get it professionally evaluated. A certified coin grader can help determine the exact value based on the coin's condition and any potential errors it might have. And remember, the world of coin collecting is constantly evolving, with new discoveries being made all the time, so who knows, your quarter could be worth even more than you think. So, if you've got a stash of old coins lying around, or you happen to come across a 1979 quarter, take a second look. You might just have a rare treasure in your hands that could fetch you a lot more than just 25 cents. Top 3 1981 quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another run-of-the-mill quarter, but believe me, there's more to it than meets the eye. What if I told you that this seemingly ordinary coin, minted over 40 years ago, could be hiding a small fortune? Stick with me because we're about to explore why the 1981 quarter dollar is so much more than just a quarter, and how it could be worth thousands of dollars to the right collector. At first, let's talk about the history behind the 1981 quarter. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already been in the process of producing millions of quarters each year. But something about the 1981 design stands out both in terms of its design details and its rarity in certain conditions. Like many other coins from the 1980s, these quarters were issued in large quantities and circulated widely. However, it's the errors that emerged during the minting process that make this coin particularly interesting and valuable. You see, not every 1981 quarter is created equal. While most of them were released into circulation without incident, some of them were struck with errors that make them highly sought after by coin collectors today. The value of a coin is often determined by its rarity, condition, and any unusual characteristics it might have, and the 1981 quarter dollar has a few tricks up its sleeve. One of the most notable errors found on the 1981 quarter is the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the minting die, causing the image to be slightly doubled. It's a subtle error, but for the experienced collector, it's an eye-catching feature. The double die effect is most commonly seen on the numbers in the date and the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust. This error is highly prized, as it makes the coin stand out from other, perfectly minted versions. If you come across a 1981 quarter with a noticeable double die error, you've just found a rare piece of U.S. coin history. Another potential minting flaw that can make the 1981 quarter valuable is the misaligned die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is not perfectly aligned with the planchet, or blank coin, causing the design to appear off-center or askew. A misaligned die can make a coin look almost like it's been struck in an unusual position, which gives it a unique, one-of-a-kind appearance. Coin collectors absolutely love these types of errors because they tell a story of a coin that wasn't produced quite the way it was meant to be. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, and then there's the condition factor. Like most valuable coins, the better the condition, the higher the price. If you happen to find a 1981 quarter in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, that alone can greatly increase its value. These coins were meant to be used and spent, so it's rare to find one that hasn't been worn down over time. If your 1981 quarter has sharp details, no visible wear, and retains its original luster, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. And now, you might be wondering, just how much could a 1981 quarter dollar be worth? Well, it all depends on the condition, the presence of any minting errors, and, of course, the current demand in the coin market. While most 1981 quarters are worth only their face value of 25 cents, if you happen to have a coin with an error or one that's in pristine condition, you could be looking at a price much higher than that die. In fact, a truly rare 1981 quarter dollar, with a noticeable error or in mint condition, has been known to fetch as much as $71,000, that's right, $71,000 for a single 1981 quarter. It's incredible to think that something as simple as a 25-cent piece of currency could be worth so much. So, if you happen to have one of these quarters lying around or if you come across one while coin hunting, make sure to check it thoroughly. Look for those subtle double die errors or the off-center strikes. And if it's in near-perfect condition, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than just a quarter. For collectors, finding a 1981 quarter dollar with an error or in excellent condition is a dream come true. This is exactly why coin enthusiasts spend so much time hunting through their collections, searching for those hidden gems. It's not just about the money, it's about finding a rare, historical piece that tells the story of the minting process and the people who collected it. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a beginner, keep an eye out for the 1981 quarter. You never know, it might just be the key to unlocking a small fortune. If you think you found one of these valuable coins, always consider having it professionally graded by a certified numismatist to get an accurate assessment of its worth. Thanks for joining us in today's deep dive into the 1981 quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot them, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future coin discoveries. Happy collecting, and who knows, your next coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars.